Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to a, let's say, controversial video, because today I'm playing the M42 Duster, battle rating 4.3, tier 3 in the Japanese tech tree, and it makes a fine lineup with the Chinu 2, which I should make a video again about. And its official name is Twin 40mm Self-Propelled Gun M42 Duster. So I think SPAA in War Thunder is both a curse and a blessing. It's both magic and dark magic. It is the forbidden fruit. It is glorious when it works. It's bitter when it doesn't work, when you rely on it. And I think that a low tier SPAA compared to a high tier SPAA is better to make a video about. I will go shortly into why this is both a curse and a blessing, but first let's talk about this vehicle in of itself. Let's start with the armor. First of all, it's open topped, it's therefore really susceptible to artillery, bombs, even machine gun fire, even from the front, because the gun shield is not sufficient to protect the entire hit area of the crew. Then the most armor that you have is half an inch, so 12.7 millimeters. Lower glacis, funnily enough, has 25.7 millimeters, and technically the gun breech has 150 millimeter of structural steel. But honestly, the rest is just like very thinly protected. Sometimes it's so thinly protected that APHE doesn't arm, but that's a different story. And you also have 6 crew to survive, 2 in the hull, 4 in the turret. Mobility is also quite nice, with a 500 horsepower strong engine for a 22.5 ton tank, giving us a horsepower to ton ratio of over 20, with a top speed forward of 72 and in reverse of 19 kilometers per hour. And if you are a bit stuck with your acceleration going uphill or through water, mud, whatever, just point your gun in reverse and fire, because you have a rate of fire of 120 rounds per minute. From the 240mm dual automatic gun M2, you have overall 480 rounds, and the reload is 0.5 seconds, so you don't even notice it, meaning that you have a constant equal rate of fire, or consistent rate of fire, and that is really nice. So you can push yourself when shooting when pointing the gun backwards, going forwards, and the other way around. So mobility, great. Armor, bad. Gun handling is okay. 40 degrees per second turret rotation speed, 25 degrees gun elevation speed. The problem is only 3 degrees of gun depression, but 85 degrees of gun elevation. So it's tricky to hunt tanks with it. You get a little bit of a Soviet vibe in this thing, but overall I cannot really complain about this. SPAA, an anti-tank, is not really that forgiving for new players, especially if you over and over again face the Soviet tanks, because very often they have enough armor to make life at least difficult. That brings us to the ammunition of the Duster, which by the way has a night vision device, funnily enough. And you have 2 shell types making 3 belts, one of them being the mixed. So let's start with the FIT, the Fragmentation Incendiary Tracer Shell, Mark II. 874 meters per second mass velocity, 63 grams of TNT, but thanks to real shatter, it's not guaranteed to one-shot an aircraft unless you have a really good hit, a good roll of the dice, or you hit the pilot. And the anti-armor APT round is the M81A1 with up to 72 millimeters of penetration and also 875 meters per second mass velocity, and at 500 meters you still have 58 millimeters of penetration. And versus sloped armor, it does a little bit better than the H-Web, for instance, from the Wirbelwind, which is also an infamous SPA, alongside the ZSU 57-2, which Mike Goes Boom, before his time at Gaijin Entertainment, made a video about, complaining that it is one of the best Tiger 2 hunters that there is. So yeah, why is SPAA so controversial? Well, it is basically around the high rate of fire, which works really well with the modular damage system in War Thunder. So instead of having a health bar like in World of Tanks, you can really track and barrel torture an enemy tank, and even if you don't kill it yourself, you still can disable the enemy tank so that one of your allies has an easy go at him when, for instance, you double team an enemy tank from 2 directions in a city fight. So that is just an idea. The other thing is that if an enemy tank misses a shot, you can come around the corner, not just shoot and potentially disable or outright kill that tank, but also engage the next guy who thinks now that you are distracted with the one tank. He can come around the corner and have an easy go at you. So SPA, together with mostly really good gun handling, is therefore really beloved by skilled players, and it has also its downsides. A lot of SPA are not fully encapsulated and or have weak armor, and so you really struggle with artillery, with bombs, with machine gun rounds, and I shall demonstrate this here. And this is a really funny scene. I just destroyed this M4A1. He dropped an artillery strike. I drove out of it. I pre-positioned myself so I can engage the plane. If I miss with my 40mm, I hit him, but not often enough. He flies through my rounds. Then I have to struggle with the gun depression, reverse into the arty strike. Stupid me. But you know, it happens to the best of us. And also when you blind the enemies. Oh my god, they hate that so much when they have no idea what's going on. And again, here you can see in very close proximity the lack of gun depression is a problem. Now we have the cannon breach, and he tries to ram into us, which buys him a little bit more time. Then he loses orientation. I have him, have the transmission, want to go for the side, and get rewarded with a kill assist. Ah, damn it. But anyway, you know, I still love it. Or for instance this. Now, most of my kills, or even more kills, I could have done with a normal anti-tank gun, placing a shot very well, especially with APHE at this battle rating or those tiers. But with SPA, I think it has some sort of shell shock effect, and a lot of people really then also want to come for the revenge kill in planes, and then you're in an SPA having an equal chance shooting them down before they come after you. You see where I'm going. SPA is really well suited. Now, for beginners, it's not really that nice or that recommended to go into an SPA from the start. Although it has also the lowest spawn point requirements. So there is that as well, right? Because your intended targets, planes, they are actually there later on. There's a little bit of a sound delay. I don't know what happened in the recording there. But yeah, so this allows now my M4A5 to work over that one KV2. Here he misses. I think his gun was already damaged, or the gun breach, yeah. And for some bizarre reason I can penetrate his turret front. I don't know. And just disabling tanks like this with the track and barrel torture is really annoying to them. It's really adding a lot of insult to the injury. And I think when you are at the receiving end of such a machine, it's in War Thunder not nice. The repair times, when you see your inevitable doom approaching, right? But I think it's also a little bit of a challenge to ambush a tank in such a way that you have a good few volleys into him. That was not enough to track him, by the way. I have to track him one more, double track him, just to make sure that the T-34 has an easy time at him. Make sure that the gun is really dead. and you can also look for weak spots. So, SPA. Here is the question. Should we get a separate game mode without aircraft and without SPA, where only tanks fight tanks, you know, heavies, mediums, lights? Or do you think it's overall okay, and it's just when somebody like me makes such a demonstration that a lot of people try to reincarnate this with their Wirbelwinds, Ostwinds, and their various different Allied and Soviet SPA? Let me know in the comment section. I think it is quite unique, and not a lot of other games can provide SPA in that regards. And yeah, it's down to the game mechanics what Gaijin did, but it's also realistic. Although, you know, it's not realism because this is not simulator mode, there is no real team play overall, and also we have no infantry to work with and against us. So there is that. And that's it for me today. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, share this with your friends, teammates, and who else ever you can annoy with the link, and we'll see each other on the waves in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.